afternoon, everybody, from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville. This is Doug Ormay with Greg Brohm, and we're getting set to bring you the 2A championship game. Unbeaten Bardstown against Prestonsburg. Greg, Bardstown's been ranked #1 all year long. Is that a big burden to carry?
Well, not with a team as talented as Bardstown is. They have a quarterback, a 4-year starter, John Wesley Munnan. He's led that team to a 14-0 record. Prestonsburg, using a power running game, comes into the game with a lot of emotion. The town is behind them, going crazy about their team. Should be a very interesting contest today.
Prestonsburg and Bardstown will tee it up in just a moment. The Class 2A championship game from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville.
Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here again. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that life to me. And I'm happy and nothing to do but myself today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the plains of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to side to sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Pride in every American heart, and it's time to stay.
Ladies and gentlemen, our nation's colors are being presented by members of the Kentucky National Guard. To honor the United States of America, the Kentucky High School Athletic Association is pleased to present our featured vocalist, Peter Holloway of Louisville, to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? Who could drive that bright stars through the perilous fight? O'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare of the bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The captains will be going to the center of the field in a moment for the toss of the coin. And Greg, it seems today in this contest we have a team, the challenging Prestonsburg team, the underdog perhaps in this game, likes to run the football and will try to establish a ground game and keep the ball away from Bardstown, which has a high-powered attack. The fewest number of points that they've scored in any one game this year is 21. And if you throw that out, the next lowest number would be 40. So this is a high-powered attack that Bardstown has. Prestonsburg has got to try and keep the ball away from them.
I think that is the whole game today for Prestonsburg. They have got to move the ball on the ground, run the clock, try to limit the number of possessions that the Bardstown offense gets, and they really need to come out in the beginning and establish themselves as a solid, quality football team against Bardstown. Now, their fans, this crowd is wild today. For the last hour, the fans from both sides have been just cheering, yelling. They are pumped up, ready to go. It's a very important game, you can tell, for Prestonsburg. And Bardstown fans, they're not giving anything to them. They're stepping up to the challenge as well. But the Bardstown team, led by their quarterback, John Munnan, 4-year starter, Double-A player of the year, last year the Single-A player of the year. So Bardstown is loaded also with a lot of weapons. They're going to put the ball in the air, but Prestonsburg is going to have to move the ball with their exceptional ground game.
Well, Prestonsburg this year has rushed for 4,205 yards. They're averaging about 300 yards rushing per game. They've only thrown for 1,021, an average of 72.9. Now you say, well, how does Prestonsburg defend against the run? Or rather, how does Bardstown defend against the run? They do it fairly well. They are giving up only about 88 yards per game on the ground. So we'll see how things shake out. If Prestonsburg can move the ball against Bardstown, they can stay right in it. The toss has been won by Prestonsburg, I believe, and they have elected to receive, so they will get the football first. So Prestonsburg on offense, here's how they'll line up. Chris Spriggs, 6'3", 205. He'll be one wide receiver. Evan McNutt and Kevin Younts are the tackles. McNutt is 6'3", 295, and Younts 6'3", 225. Matt Stevens, Charlie Johnson, the guards. Stevens, 5'10", 230. Johnson, 5'8", 245. And Andrew Burchett is the center. He's 6'1", 225. The backfield consisting of quarterback Joey Willis, 6'1", 175. He's a junior. And then the two outstanding running backs, Matt Sloan, 5'11", 190, and a senior. And Michael Fannin, 5'10", 205, and a junior. Sloan has rushed for 2,223 yards and has run for 35 touchdowns this season. Fannin has run for 1,140 yards and 18 touchdowns. So you get the idea. Prestonsburg will want to try and run this football today against Bardstown. Joseph Blackman will tee up the football for Bardstown. They're dressed in the purple, Prestonsburg in the white, trim with red numbers and the black pants. Chris Jervis is the center deep man for Prestonsburg, and to the near side is Kevin Jervis, and over to the far side is Austin Clark. So a trio of deep backs lined up across the 10-yard line for Prestonsburg. They will go from right to left. And this 2A championship game set to get underway. Blackman has the ball teed up. And here is the kick. It is high and long, and it will land at the 3-yard line and bounce into the end zone. And that's quite a weapon in high school. If you can kick it into the end zone, prevent the run back, make the opposition go 80 yards, that's what Bardstown wants to do. So we'll see what Prestonsburg can come up with here. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The Bardstown defense, Brian Wood, Jace Uhas, Jacob Blackman, Nick Johnson, and Wes Barnes, the defensive line, along with Lance Blanford. Justin Grundy, Joseph Blackman are the linebackers. Here's the direct snap, and they hand it off to Sloan, running to the right side across the 20 to the 25, and brought down there at the 25 for a gain of 5 for Matt Sloan.
Matt Sloan gained over 2,000 yards rushing this season, and Prestonsburg comes right out, overloads the right side of the line of scrimmage, gives it to Sloan, and Bardstown plays that pressure man-to-man defense. If it's a situation where if Prestonsburg does break through the line of scrimmage, there may be no one there.
2nd and 5, and now they'll try Fannin, sweeping to the left side. He's hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, can't do it. Immediately thrown down by the Bardstown defense. Lance Blanford, one of the defensive linemen, in there to make the stop, and that is a loss of 2 for Fannin.
This is a defense that Coach Joey Downs for Bardstown copied from Male High School in Louisville. Coach Bob Redmond's been doing this for years. They play pressure, man-to-man, bump and run defense. A lot of times you have no safety at all, and the rest of the players are attacking the backfield. And that time they got to Prestonsburg in the backfield and dropped him for a loss.
So it's 3rd down and 7, 10:49 to play in the first quarter. First series of the game, we're just underway. Jervis in motion from right to left. They hand it off again to Fannin in the backfield, and he maybe struggles forward off the right side for a yard. And that's all. Tackle for Bardstown made by Wes Barnes, one of the secondary men. So only a 1-yard gain for Fannin that time. And now Prestonsburg goes 3 and out, and they'll have to punt, and we'll keep an eye on Randy Tung. He has already returned in his career 10 punts for touchdowns. And here's the kick. He's going to get an opportunity here, and he lets it hit at the 50-yard line, and Prestonsburg will down it at the Bardstown 48. Tung is a speedster, and that time decided, well, we're going to have pretty good field position if I let this ball bounce, and I don't want to take the chance. The coverage was coming down pretty quickly, so he let it hit, and Bardstown now in possession. And they will come out with Joseph Blackman and Brian Wood, the ends, Barrett Mattingly and Chris Carney, the tackles, Jason Riley and Nick Johnson, the guards. The center is Jonathan Tatman. The quarterback, John Wesley Munnan, Maurice Crow, and Jamie Cotton are the running backs. And it will be Crow sweeping to the left side. Crow to the 50, to the 45, and down at the 43-yard line as he piles around the left end. Nice pickup, nearly, or might have, in fact, gotten a first down. We'll have to wait and see. The original line of scrimmage was the Bardstown 48. He lugged it to the 42, and the officials say it's a 9-yard pickup for Maurice Crow.
You see the speed of Bardstown there. Give the ball to Crow, let him get on the outside, outrun the Prestonsburg defense, and he almost picks up a first down on the very first play.
Tung is in at a running back. Wide receivers to both sides. Munnan short drop, flips it out to Brian Johnson, the receiver on the left side, makes the catch, crosses the 40, gets to about the 37-yard line, a pickup of 5.
You can tell Prestonsburg is concerned about the passing game of Bardstown. First 2 plays, Prestonsburg's come out with 4 secondary guys, and that time Bardstown really wasn't even spread out that wide, but Prestonsburg stuck with their 4 secondary men, and the secondary did fly to the ball there to make the tackle quickly on that pass.
LeFevre goes wide to the left, 2 wide receivers here to the near side. Blackman in a slot right. He goes in motion now and sets up in the backfield, and here's a flag thrown, a couple of flags thrown. Maybe he did not get set. He kind of was hip-hopping along there when he went in motion. It's a legal procedure against Bardstown, so that'll make it 1st and 15.
You can tell Prestonsburg only had 3 down linemen on that play. They're really playing, looks like they're going to try to play soft against the pass, keep everything in front of them probably. They don't want to give up the big play to Bardstown. They want Bardstown to have to drive the ball down the field, make them execute on multiple plays on these drives.
Again, Blackman sets up in motion, working from right to left. There's the snap. They hand it off to Crow, and he slants over the left side, pounds inside the 40, gets the 5 yards back down to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Crow is kind of an all-purpose back for Bardstown. He's rushed for 635 yards this year, but he's also the leading receiver for Bardstown with 41 catches, and he's scored 17 touchdowns on the year, and they've gone to him a couple of times already.
8:38 to play, first quarter, Bardstown's first series. Wood and Blackman come wide to the near side. LeFevre and Crow go wide to the far side. Tung is in on a wing right. Here's a quick pitch out to Crow across the 35 and tackled as he got to the 30-yard line. Maurice Crow taking the short flip. That's like almost like a long handoff, and an easy gain for Crow that time, taking the pass and moving it down to just inside the 30. We'll call it the 30. Back end of the ball at the 30-yard line. That's a pickup of about 8.
Very safe pass, and they're taking advantage of the soft cushion that Prestonsburg is giving the Bardstown receivers, and that time just throw it out there and let him run until the defense can get to him.
3rd and 2 from the 30. Again, Blackman comes in motion, sets up in the backfield this time, takes the handoff, slants off the right side, and is stopped shy of the first down. Jumping in there to make the tackle, Matt Williams for Prestonsburg, one of the defensive linemen. Blackman carrying that time. Stopped just shy of the first down. And it'll be 4th down and, well, a little less than a yard. Call it a 2-yard pickup for Blackman.
I think this is a big play for Prestonsburg. If they could hold them on this 4th down, it could give a big lift to their confidence going up against Bardstown, who's been #1 all season long. Very important play. No backs in the backfield on 4th and 1.
Munnin quickly pitches it out to the right side. It's caught by Crow to the 25, to the 20, down the sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line, just inside the 10. Again, the quick flip out to Maurice Crow. Munnin is 3 for 3 through the air. Crow has caught 2, and he takes it for an 18-yard gain down to the 10-yard line.
What helped that play was the fact it was 4th and 1, so you had to be aware of the quarterback sneak. You couldn't spread all your defenders out across the field, but that's a play they've used 2 or 3 times already. Prestonsburg cannot let them get that many easy yards on that short pass.
Ball at the 10. Here's the snap and the handoff to Crow, sweeping to the far side from right to left. He's hit and is taken down after a gain of a couple of yards. Good pursuit that time from the secondary of Prestonsburg, as coming in there to make the hit was John Hunt, one of the linebackers. He has 91 tackles on the year, 58 of those solo stops.
Yeah, Prestonsburg, they showed some speed there themselves in their pursuit, and Matt Sloan also got in the backfield there and made the running back have to go even wider before Hunt was there to make the tackle. 2nd
down from the 8-yard line. Tongue is in the backfield. Munnin again, the quick flip, batted down at the line of scrimmage that time, as leaping up there was one of the defensive ends, Tony White, who is the top tackler for Prestonsburg with 121 on the season.
That's what you have to do against a team that's going to throw the ball quickly. There's no way you can get to Munnin for a sack before he makes these throws. You have to get your hands up and try to knock these passes down.
3rd and 8. 4 wide receivers to the left side, including LeFevre. Now coming in motion is Crow behind Munnin. Munnin takes the snap, will run to the near side to the 15, tackled at the 14. Knifing through there defensively, Matt Setzer, 5'9", 175-pound junior linebacker, making the stop on Munnin, spills him for a yard loss. And this will bring up 4th down, Greg.
Yeah, that's the second time this drive that Setzer has supported strong from the secondary. He's playing kind of deep in the secondary, but when he sees run, he's attacking. Looks like Bardstown's going to go for it here on 4th down. They have a lot of confidence in their offense.
4th and 9. There's the snap, and Munnin rolling to his right, stops. He's being chased. He's going to throw back across the field. A man is open. Touchdown, Blackman. Joseph Blackman to the left side of the field after Munnin started to the right.
That was a beautifully designed play as Bardstown rolled right, and they snuck Blackman from the right side of the field all the way across to the left. And, you know, they said that they copied Mail's offense and defense. Well, I've seen that play run by the Mail High School Bulldogs in 4A football and Coach Bob Redmond many times. Roll right, throw it all the way across to the left. Nice play by Munnin and Blackman.
Lincoln Busick will try the extra point, and he missed it. It is low and a little bit to the left. And after the first series of plays for Bardstown, the Tigers in the end zone, though. 5:35 to play in the first. It is Bardstown 6, Prestonsburg nothing. This is the Class 2A championship game. All right, Cardinal Stadium, Prestonsburg Bardstown marching it in for a touchdown. 6-0 they lead. And it'll be Prestonsburg's opportunity again here. Trailing now 6-0. The point after no good. 8-yard pass play. John Wesley Munnin to Joseph Blackman, getting the Tigers on the board. Now we prepare for the kickoff. Once again, Prestonsburg with 3 guys back to receive. Jervis is in the middle. Let's see if this one reaches the end zone like the opening kickoff did. And this one is high, coming here to the near side. That's going to be caught there by Kevin Jervis. Comes up the near sideline to the 10, to the 15, and then knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 20 at about the 21 or 22-yard line. Down in the coverage there was Jonathan Hibbs of Bardstown.
A couple of things Prestonsburg can take from that first defensive series. They did make Bardstown have to convert 2 4th downs on that series. Now, they did get a touchdown, Munnin with his 37th touchdown pass of the season, but Prestonsburg may be able to build on that if they have to, when they have to go on defense again. They really need to put some first downs together, though, with their run game.
Joey Willis in the shotgun with Fannin and Sloan, the running backs. They hand it to Sloan, trying to sweep the left side. Gets stood up by Blackman as he got to perhaps the line of scrimmage. Brian Wood also there, and Jacob Blackman, the brother of Joseph, on the bottom of the stack. So no gain that time for Sloan.
Yeah, Jacob Blackman, a freshman nose guard for Bardstown. Prestonsburg, they're going to have trouble running wide against the Tigers because with that speed, they're going to be able to track you down. Maybe advantageous just to go right at them, try to hit a seam in the defensive front. If you get in the secondary, there won't be anybody there. You could break a big play.
Willis, the quarterback, is a left-hander, lets one fly to the right side, and it's short of the intended receiver, Chris Spriggs, as on the coverage there for Bardstown was Brian Johnson.
Spriggs got open deep, but Prestonsburg does not throw the ball very often. Joey Willis, he only averages about 6 pass attempts a game, but they tried a little play action, hoping that Bardstown would bite on it. Had a guy open, just didn't get the ball out there far enough.
3rd and 10. Coming to the near side is Austin Clark for Prestonsburg. Sloan going in motion from left to right, and the snap, and they fake the handoff to Fannin. Going back is Willis. Here's the little screen, caught by Spriggs at the 20 and taken out of bounds at the 23. Only a 1-yard pickup that time on the completion. So Willis 1 for 2 now for a yard, and this will bring up 4th down. And the clock stops with Spriggs going out of bounds, make it a 2-yard gain on the play. So the line of scrimmage is the 24, and Prestonsburg will have to punt. And into punt for the Black Cats is Aaron Neely. Here's the snap, and the kick is going to hit at the midfield stripe, bounce into Bardstown territory, rolls down inside the 40. Tongue decides to let that one bounce. He and Johnson back to receive, and Bardstown will take possession at the 37-yard line. They get the 38, nose of the ball just off the 38-yard line.
Munnin with 37 career touchdown passes now. Only needs 3 more to become only the 13th player in the state history to throw for 40 touchdown passes in the season.
LeFevre goes wide left, Blackman in a slot right, and Brian Wood is in a slot right as well. Here comes LeFevre in motion, sets up on a wing right, and here's the snap. They hand it up the middle to Cotton. Cotton gets across the 40 and powers out to about the 43, dragging a couple of tacklers with him. Tony White, one of them, and helping out on the tackle as well was the linebacker John Hunt.
Cotton with over 1,000 yards himself for Bardstown this season. 24 touchdowns rushing for Cotton, and I think that's the first time they actually given him the ball this game.
2nd and 5, 3:57 to play, first quarter. Bardstown leading 6-0. Munnin at quarterback, play action. Rolls to his right, looking downfield, fires, has a man, caught. Blackman across the 40, taken out of bounds. Joseph Blackman knocked out at the 38-yard line.
Munnin, a very polished quarterback. You can tell why he's been the player of the year the last 2 years in his class. Rolls to his right and throws a nice ball to his tight end Blackman again. They connect once again for a first down, and Bardstown mixes it up. They have a nice balanced attack and have been moving the ball pretty well against Prestonsburg.
19-yard gain for Bardstown. 4 wide receivers go to the far side of the field, the left. The line of scrimmage is the 36. Munnin now brings Tongue in motion and takes the snap, pitches it out off on the left side to Crow, and it's through his hands and out of bounds. That was close to maybe being a lateral. They all scrambled after it. That might have put the onus on the official there to make a call had it stayed in bounds, but it's an incompletion. And that's Munnin's first incompletion of the afternoon. He's 4 for 5 here for 53 yards, or 58 yards rather, here in the first quarter.
Well, it was a good call by the official. It was a forward pass, but barely. Prestonsburg may need to put some pressure on Munnin. They're only rushing 3 guys, trying to play soft zone defense. They really may have to come after him, try to knock him backwards and get a big sack.
2nd and 10, Munnin back to throw. Looking downfield, now scrambles, is sacked. Nice tackle. Grabbing him down there from around the ankles was Matt Williams.
There's their big sack by Matt Williams, and they did it with only 3 guys rushing, so they were able to get to Munning, and they're going to have to do that a lot more. You need to put Bardstown in some long yardage situations where you know they're going to throw, and you can try to make a big play in the secondary. Maybe Munning would force a pass or something in a situation like this, 3rd down and 14. But Prestonsburg really needs to hold them on this particular down. They probably should watch for a short pass, and Bardstown might want to let their guys catch it short and let them try to make a play to run for the 1st down.
They need to make the 26-yard line, and now the officials come in and stop play, and we're going to have a timeout called here with 2:55 left in the 1st quarter. Bardstown takes time. The Tigers lead Prestonsburg 6-0 in the Class 2A championship game. Play set to resume, 2:55 left in the 1st quarter. Doug Ormay, Greg Brohm here at Cardinal Stadium. 3rd and 14 for Bardstown at the 40 of Prestonsburg. And Munning takes the snap. Looks downfield, lets it fly, he wants it all. Nobody there, and it's incomplete. He wanted to go to Tongue, but Matt Sloan, the safety, was the closest player to it, and he plays for Prestonsburg.
Yeah, nobody was in the area. Munning just let that one fly. Prestonsburg's probably a good thing they couldn't get to it, the secondary. You don't really want to intercept that ball. You want to make them punt it, see if they kick it in the end zone. Maybe you get it on the 20-yard line. But you don't want to say that in a series this early is important. But I think every time Prestonsburg stops this powerful Bardstown offense, it's an uplift to their confidence, and it is important. It's important for Prestonsburg to establish themselves early against this, the #1 team in the state of Kentucky all year long.
Munning will be the punter. Chris Jervis is back to receive. The rush is on. Munning gets the kick away. Jervis makes the catch at the 12, runs to his right, gets to the 15, now comes back to the left, crosses the 15, and is piled up down there. Forward progress maybe got him across the 15 to the 16-yard line. About a 4-yard return, and he paid dearly for every one of them. One of the Tigers is a little shaken up, Brian Wood.
Prestonsburg's a physical team, and they will hit you. And looks like Wood took a shot on that play, but Prestonsburg may have an opportunity to block a punt later in the game. A couple of Black Cats broke through cleanly and had a shot at the ball, but just didn't make it in time.
High formation. Strong to the right behind the quarterback, Joey Willis. Reaches under. Takes the snap and tries to hand it off, or did he keep it? He handed it off, and the guy he handed it to wished that he hadn't. I think that was Fannin, who just got overwhelmed. Yep, that was Michael Fannin. So he is thrown for a loss back to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, they gave him some forward progress there. Bardstown did knock him back another 5 yards, but you know, Bardstown swarms on defense, and they're an emotional bunch. Boy, they're jumping around, dancing after all these plays, and in the pregame introductions, dancing all over the field.
Prestonsburg has only 1 yard rushing so far. Here's the toss to Sloan. Sloan gets to the 15, crosses the 15, and piled up by Munning, and also Wesley Barnes again after a gain out to the 18-yard line.
Munning plays safety for the Tigers, and you know, nowadays a lot of times even on teams that you have a lot of players playing both ways, a lot of times the quarterback won't because you really can't afford an injury, but he's a pretty physical guy. He's a big quarterback, and he made a nice tackle on that play.
3rd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Again, the I formation, strong to the right, and here's the handoff coming around is Spriggs, and he is met and thrown down. Blackman in there for Bardstown. Also Wood, who's back in the game, and tried to do a little trickery there with a kind of an end around, but Spriggs buried on the 15, and they lose 3.
Yeah, Blackman stayed right at home. He's a linebacker who transferred from Paducah Tillman before last season. Just a quality player, both offensively and very physical on defense.
They snap and punt formation for Prestonsburg, and Johnson makes the catch at the 37, hands to Tongue on a reverse, gets a great block at midfield, and is going to be tackled, though, at the 47. Good job by Prestonsburg. One of the Black Cats got wiped out at the midfield stripe, slow to get to his feet, but the rest of the team was right in step on their coverage, and Tongue unable to get loose.
Very important for Prestonsburg not to give up the big play in the kicking game, and Tongue, who's the best ever in Kentucky returning kicks, They kicked away from him, but Bardstown is not going to let you keep them from getting Tongue the ball, and they run the reverse to Tongue, and but Prestonsburg does a great job of staying in their lanes and stringing the play out, making the tackle. Got a penalty flag on the play.
And they're saying it's an illegal block, or a block below the waist was the signal. And I thought the official had signaled toward Prestonsburg.
Yeah, I think it was on the Black Cats, and I think Bardstown will make Prestonsburg punt it again, and I think it's a wise move when you got a dangerous guy like Tongue back there. You want to give him every opportunity to get his hands on the ball, especially when Prestonsburg now will be punting from their own end zone.
So now Johnson and Tongue will step inside Prestonsburg territory. In fact, they're at the 40-yard line, and this punt will be coming from Neely from the end zone. Aaron Neely gets the snap, gets the kick away. Johnson will come up and catch it at the 35, starts to his left, fakes the handoff. Johnson still at the 35, to the 30, to the 25, and out of bounds on the far sideline.
They faked the reverse that time. Johnson with a nice run. He used the official as a screen on one of the defenders coming down on him. The official made a nice block. He went around the official, picked up some good yardage, and great field position for Bardstown in this first quarter. Prestonsburg's in danger of going down even further right now.
20 seconds left in the quarter in Bardstown's football at the 23 of Prestonsburg. Munnan at quarterback takes the snap and keeps it, running to his right. Some penetration, but he avoids that tackler. Can't avoid the next one, though. Sloan flattens him at the 25. That's a loss of 2.
Matt Sloan, big hit. Well, I tell you what, the secondary for Prestonsburg will lay the smack on you, and they come attacking when they see that sweep, and that's what they need to do. They have to get to the outside running backs and the quarterback on the edge. They need to get to them in the backfield, and he came up and laid the wood down on Munnan.
That is the end of the first quarter. It is Bardstown 6, Prestonsburg nothing in the Class 2A championship game. Before we get this second quarter underway, we neglected at the start to give you the names of the officials here. Jim Gutterman is the referee, the umpire, Steve Ishmael. Mike Holt is the linesman. The line judge is Marion Crutcher, and the back judge is Chuck Hughes, all from the Kentucky Football Officials Association. Not all of them, a couple of them are, also one from the 15th region. All right, 2nd and 11. And here is the reverse play. As Tongue sweeping to the right, a flag is down. He gets to the 20 and taken out of bounds across the way, but let's hold on here. This one may come back. Prestonsburg, or rather Bardstown, a lot of fancy handoffs, both on punt returns and also here with a little bit of a reverse play from scrimmage.
Legal motion on Bardstown. The backfield was not set when the snap occurred. That play ran a little reverse, trying to get the ball into Randy Tongue's hands, and John can throw the ball, he can run it, he plays defense. He was blocking for Tongue on that play, and really threw one of the best blocks I've seen all day on the play, but there is a penalty. 2nd and 16 will be the situation with 11:53 left, and the line of scrimmage is the 29. So 2nd and 16, they need to get to the 13 to get a first down. Now Bardstown sends 3 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Munnan takes the snap, has good protection, throws down the middle, and he's got a man wide open. Maurice Crow at the 10-5, he's in there. Maurice Crow broke behind the defense, and that was pitch and catch, Munnan to Crow. Crow's had a big game so far. Right there, they bunched 3 receivers up to the left. Ran some cross. They let the receivers cross, and there was some confusion in the Prestonsburg secondary, and Crow runs the post pattern. Munnan just lays it out there for him. They go up 12-0, and it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Bardstown looking very good here at the outset, leading in the game 12-0, and since they missed the extra point on their first touchdown, they are going to line up and go for 2, and lining up in the backfield is Lance Blanford, and here's Munnan sweeping to the right, stops, throws back across his body, and it's good. Nice catch Making the grab there was Blackman, and Bardstown has a 14-point lead. 11:48 to play in the half. Bardstown 14, Prestonsburg nothing. This is the Class 2A championship game. Prior to the kickoff, the first quarter stats: 15 rushing yards for Bardstown, just 3 for Prestonsburg. 64 yards passing Bardstown, just 2 for Prestonsburg. So a 79-5 total yardage advantage for Bardstown. Crow has gained 10 yards for Bardstown through the end of the first quarter. Sloan, the leading rusher in the game, has 11 yards for Prestonsburg. Here is the kickoff, and it is high, and Jervis backpedaling, makes the catch and fumbles it inside the 5. Still hasn't recovered it yet. It is loose on the ground inside the 10, and Bardstown has it. And they will have it first and goal at about the 8-yard line.
Oh, that could be a disastrous play there for Prestonsburg. Down 14-0. Now Bardstown has another opportunity inside the 10-yard line. And Bardstown, everything going their way right now. Munnin, what a good quarterback. I mean, I like his ball handling skills, the way he maneuvers in the pocket, and then when he got outside on that 2-point conversion, he finds his receivers. Here he has another opportunity from the 8-yard line.
5 for 8 for 64 yards is Munnin here so far in this contest. He's got it now first and goal. Here's a toss to Cotton, sweeping to the left side. Cotton cuts in at the 5 and dances into the end zone. Another touchdown for Bardstown. 20-0 now they lead it with 11:36 left here in the first half of play.
Cotton ran through some arm tackles out there on the edge for Prestonsburg. The players out there didn't quite put their pads into Cotton, and he runs right through it. Very strong, powerful running back. Bardstown jumping out now to a big lead.
And Lincoln Busick will try the point after. 6'1", 178-pound senior, soccer-style kicker. And here's the snap, and it's a little low, and the kick is up. And did he get it through? He did. So with 11:36 left here in the first half, it's Bardstown 21 and Prestonsburg nothing. This is the well, hold on a second. Let's stay right here. There's a flag down, and both teams are going to their respective sidelines. And we're going to await the signal. The point after is good. So with 11:36 to go, it's Bardstown 21, Prestonsburg nothing. This is the Class 2A championship game. The penalty on the kickoff was against Prestonsburg, so Bardstown will kick off now from their own 45. This shouldn't be much trouble as far as getting into the end zone for the kicker, which is, let's see, who do they have out there? They had Blackman earlier, I thought. Number 9, that is him. That's a powerful leg, and he drills it. And this one is headed toward the goal line, and this time Prestonsburg will run it out. Kevin Jervis starts up the middle across the 15, gets out near the 20, and now over the 20-yard line before being brought down.
Prestonsburg, this is exactly what they did not want to happen, is Bardstown come out and jump on them right away. The only good thing about falling down 21-0 this fast is you do have 3 full quarters to try to make a comeback.
Yep. But
their offense, the Black Cats' offense, is not suited for comeback football. But right now they have time to try to develop the running game. Give that ball to Matt Sloan a little bit. Try to see if he can hit a crease in the defense.
Yeah, they've got to stick with their game plan here at this point. I formation, Sloan has it, runs up the middle, and wedges out for about 3 yards to about the 25-yard line. And in on the stop there for Bardstown, one of the last guys to get up is Wesley Barnes, who has been, we've called his name a couple of times here already today. He's been all over the field defensively. Gain of 3 yards for Sloan.
Bardstown does a good job getting penetration. They slice the gaps. They get you a lot of times in the backfield before you have a chance to get going. That time, Sloan did get a couple of yards. They need to put together positive plays time after time.
2nd and 7 from the 25. Willis with a toss to Fannin. Starts left, now tries to come back right toward the middle and runs into Barnes again, and covering up as well for Bardstown is Jace Uhas.
Number 51, Nick Johnson, kind of made that play as he broke through the line untouched and made the running back have to cut back. And you can't spend a lot of time in the backfield with the Tigers because they will swarm you, and they did on that play. 3rd and long, probably have to go to the air here.
Well, Fannin has had a hard time getting untracked. He's -5 unofficially for the day. 3rd down, and Willis is back to throw. He wants a bomb deep down the near sideline, and his receiver had a step, Chris Jervis, but the ball was overthrown. So this will bring up a punting situation once again.
With that bump and run, man-to-man defense by the Bardstown secondary, it's very tempting to go for those fade routes. And if you can hit one, it can turn your game around. And Jervis did have a step, but now Prestonsburg has to punt it back to that potent Bardstown offense.
And here is the punt. And it comes toward Tongue. He catches it at the 43, runs to his right, gets a good block again, gets up to the 45, to the 50, 45, down the sideline at the 35, one man to beat. He beats him on the sideline and will race into the end zone, but this one may come back. There's a flag down on the field. Some tremendous blocking by Bardstown, devastating comeback blocks. These guys come back after Tongue makes the catch, and against the pursuit, they blindside people. And Tongue is disappointed. He wanted to score a touchdown on a punt return in a state final. And he is not happy.
That was almost number 11 in career punt returns for Tongue. And you can tell how talented he is on those returns, but you can also tell that he gets a lot of powerful blocking. And he had a great block by number 33 for Bardstown, Justin Grundy, who blindsided one of the Black Cats and actually lifted him off the ground as he turned the corner. But one of the blocks in the back, no sweat for Bardstown, though. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders, and nothing seems to be a problem for them today.
So the penalty marches them back to the 37 with 9:52 left in the half. And Bardstown already leading 21-0. 2 touchdown passes for John Wesley Munnin in this game. And then a run for a score by Jamie Cotton. Joseph Blackman has caught one of the touchdown passes and Maurice Crow the other. Bardstown hustles up now to the line of scrimmage. Munnin at quarterback gives it off, and hit in the backfield is Crow. He breaks the tackle and gets back to the 40-yard line. He loses a couple of yards, but it could have been a lot worse.
Nice play by Tony White, the leading tackler for Prestonsburg, who broke into the backfield and slowed down the running back. Bardstown, nice positive play for Prestonsburg. They have to keep trying to put negative yards on Bardstown, put them in 3rd and long situations.
Munnin hands to Cotton to the 45, to the 50, to the 45 of Prestonsburg, to the 40, carrying a tackler, drags him all the way down to about the 37-yard line. There's about a 22 or 3-yard run, depending on where they spot it. We'll call it the 38 for a 22-yard advance for Jamie Cotton.
Crow looks like their speed running back. They like to get on the outside, and Cotton's the powerful, slashing running back. That time, he literally ran 8 yards downfield, up the middle, before he was touched by a Prestonsburg defender.
1st and 10 from the 38. Munnin takes the snap, hands it off to Crow across the 35 to the 30, down to about the 29. Gain of about 8 on that play.
Prestonsburg really concerned about the passing game of Munnin and Bardstown. They only have 3 down linemen, and they have a lot of secondary guys, but they're probably going to have to bring more guys closer to the line of scrimmage because Bardstown's just running it right at them right now. They need to bring more into the box and try to stuff the run a little bit. 2nd
down and about 2. Munnin hands to Cotton, big hole, gets off the right side, cuts it back. The hole closes quickly, and they spill him at the 25, but it's enough for a 1st down. Gain of 3 on the play.
With Bardstown, though, it's a pick your poison. You can cover the run, but then they're going to go to the air then. But they're doing a great job at taking what Prestonsburg is giving them. You got to feel a little bit for the teams in Double-A football. 2 years Boyle County dominates. They move Boyle County to 3A. You think you might have a shot. Well, they move Bardstown up from Single-A to Double-A, so you're still behind the 8 ball.
It's tough. It really is. Bardstown looks very, very machine-like here to this point in the game. 1st down from the 25. Munnin back to throw, gets good protection. Now we'll try to run, and now it's going to be caught from behind and dropped. Good tackle coming in there for Bardstown that time. Matt Williams again, and Fannin also helping out. Munnin picks up a yard.
Munnin was looking for Brian Wood, trying to run a post corner route. Good coverage in the secondary by Prestonsburg that time, and they were able to get to Munnin as he tried to run it up the middle. He's a good athlete, but Prestonsburg was a couple linebackers sitting there waiting for him.
LeFevre comes wide here to the left side. Blackman and Wood go wide right. Crow and Cotton, the running backs. It's Crow with a slant off the right side. Starts outside, dashes back inside, gets across the 20, and stopped at about the 16 or 17. Josh Pennington with the tackle, Greg.
Yeah, Bardstown taking advantage of the fact that Prestonsburg only has about 4 or 5 guys up near the line of scrimmage in a lineman or linebacker position. They're covering the pass right now, and Bardstown's taking the run.
Gain of 7 on that play. Bardstown up to 63 yards rushing here in the first half. And the snap, and they give it to Cotton. Powers up straight ahead across the 15 and piled up at about the 12-yard line. Fannin down there at the bottom along with Sloan. Another first down for Bardstown. And right now it does not appear as if Prestonsburg can keep the Tigers out of the end zone.
A lot of weapons on Bardstown. Very talented. You know, these guys have been doing it for 3 years now. In their last 38 games, they got a record. They have a record of 33-5, and this year going undefeated. Their closest game was last week versus Glasgow when they won 21-0. They've just been a machine all season long.
Munnin with the snap, gives to Crow, sweeping to the right to the 15, cuts in at the 10, and brought down as he gets down to about the 7-yard line. Stepping up in there, Andrew Howell from his defensive back position to make the tackle.
The Tigers really going to the running game on this drive. This season they averaged 220 yards rushing a game. Very skilled in that area. The offensive line, I think you have to give credit to those guys up front as well as the running backs. You know, they're opening the holes. They're making it happen, and the running backs just have to go follow the linemen.
So first and goal from the 6. Munnin hands to Cotton, blasts straight ahead up the middle, and does he get in? Yes, he does. Cotton with the touchdown run, and that makes it 27-0.
Another great push by the offensive front of Bardstown, as Cotton really was untouched till about the 1-yard line, and it's just bulled his way in for the final yard for a touchdown, and 27-0. Impressive performance by the Bardstown Tigers.
They've scored 3 touchdowns here in 6 minutes. Lance Busick is getting a workout. He's the point after kicker. Jamie Cotton, his second touchdown of the game, and the point after try is good. And with 5:47 left in the first half, it is Bardstown 28 and Prestonsburg nothing. This is the Class 2A championship game. Bardstown rolling through the first half here, leading 28-0 at Cardinal Stadium. This is Doug Ormay with Greg Brohm. Jamie Cotton has scored twice on runs, and John Wesley Munnin has thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Joseph Blackman, the other to Maurice Crow. And I can see why Bardstown's 14-0 coming into this game.
Very impressive. I mean, they've got to be one of the best teams regardless of class in the state of Kentucky.
Blackman getting ready to kick off. It is high, and it'll be Jervis back inside the 10. He fumbles, picks it up, goes back to the 5. Needs to head
that way.
upfield. Yeah, he's headed backwards, and they throw him down. He barely got out of the end zone. He was back near the goal line, and they're going to put him down on the 1. That was Kevin Jervis, who had trouble with the kickoff.
You know, the trouble on the kicking game is really putting Prestonsburg with their backs up against the wall. I mean, it'd be a lot closer if the fumble they had on the kickoff before, and now they have to start from their own 1-yard line. You know, you have to go to Sloan and Fannin and hope they can get you some room here. Bardstown is just swarming, and their defense is so aggressive. You know they're going to be going for the safety right here.
Yep, Sloan and Fannin are the running backs. Willis takes the snap, hands it off, and Fannin coming out of the end zone, gets it out to the 5, and out to the 6 or 7, and still on his feet, but finally they stack him up there after a pretty good run of about 6 yards for Michael Fannin. That's been his best run of the game.
Yeah, that's the first daylight that Fannin has seen, and he gives his offense some room. Bardstown, you know, they've won 3 state titles. This could be their 4th state title. It'll be their first one in 20 years. Garnis Martin, the legendary coach,
wow,
and his Bardstown team in 1981 won their last title over Somerset.
Line of scrimmage, they say, is the 7. A gain of 6 on that last play. Fannin now comes in motion from the left wing. Willis goes back from his own end zone. He lets one fly down the left side, and it's going to be intercepted by Crow at the 40. Starts back the far sideline, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and out of bounds at the 3. Crow looked like Willie Mays, over-the-shoulder catch, and then turned around and headed upfield.
That's Crow's 4th interception of the season, and, you know, they go for the fade route, and Jervis did get behind Crow, but the thing is, when you're in that bump and run, Joey Willis is taking a little too long to throw the fade route. It doesn't have to be a long pass. You can take the snap and throw it right now, maybe 20 yards down the field. He's trying to make a 35, 40-yard throw, and Maurice Crow looks up the last second, makes a great catch. You can see why he's such the leading receiver on the team as well.
There's a flag down as well, down inside the 5 where the tackle was made. And the penalty is going to go against Bardstown from that spot. So they march it back out to the 13. But the way things are going here, that might not impede Bardstown. It's a holding call on the return.
That just gives them more room if they want to throw a pass into the end zone.
Munnin moves up under center. Takes the snap, quick pitch, dumps it out to Tongue. Tongue at the 10, gets down to about the 9 or 8 yard line, then is thrown back. Bardstown, or rather Prestonsburg, a little frustrated now too, as you might understand. A 5-yard gain on that play.
Yeah, they kind of slammed Tongue to the ground, but Tongue, he's a rail down there. It's probably not hard to throw him around if you can catch him. And that time, really, if they do that again to Tongue later in the game, if he runs right for the corner of the end zone, he'll probably outrun the team. He probably took a path too far upfield, allowed the defense, the linebackers, to catch him.
2nd down and 5 from the 8. Munnin, quick pitch out to Tongue, circling the right side this time. Cuts inside at the 10 and tackled at the 8. That'll be no gain on that play.
Well, I guess I was wrong because they did the exact same play and he ran wide, and Prestonsburg was there. Give them credit. They want to try to hold here. They don't want to go down any more than they are right now, and their goal line defense has stiffened up.
3rd down and 5, 3.5 to go in the first half. Prestonsburg with 28 points here in this game, 22 of them coming in the second quarter. Ball on the right hash mark. Handoff goes to Crow, bursts up the middle and brought down at about the 5. Good play by Prestonsburg that time. Nice tackle by Chris Spriggs.
Yeah, Spriggs came hard from his outside linebacker position, able to get Crow before he hit up into the hole. It's going to bring a 4th down here, about 1.5, 2 yards to go. Interesting to see what Bardstown will do in this situation.
And we've got a timeout called for.
Actually, it's going to be a personal foul on Prestonsburg. It's going to be an automatic 1st down, and like you said, a little frustration probably growing down there in the Prestonsburg Black Cats defense. They've been on the field quite a bit in this game, and you get a little angry when you get down, but you do have to keep your head on you straight and just keep playing and keep fighting. And this gives them a 1st down, though, so 4 plays from about the 2.
1st and goal. Munnin gets his team at the line. Tongue is the deep back in the eye. Randy gets the handoff, bursts off the right side, and is in for the touchdown. 2-yard run by Randy Tongue for the score. And it's now 34-0. But Bardstown is rolling.
Fireworks going off after that touchdown, but it's nothing like the fireworks that's going on the field for the Bardstown offense. As they score again, they give the ball to Tongue. He's caught a pass, he's returned a punt, now he's run the ball.
28 points, and this quarter still has 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. And here's a whistle, and flags fly prior to the point after from Lincoln Busick. And here's the official signal, offside against Prestonsburg. Bardstown is talented and plays with a lot of confidence. First quarter was kind of almost a feeling out kind of a process. They did score once in that period And they have just come on with 4 touchdowns in about 8 minutes here in this period.
It's been very big that they've been in Prestonsburg territory almost the whole game. They've had great field position in which to score those points.
Here's the point after by Busick. And it's good. And with 3:03 left in the half, it is Bardstown 35 and Prestonsburg nothing. This is the Class 2A championship game. It has been all Bardstown here in the 2A championship game. 29 second quarter points by the Tigers, and they lead Prestonsburg 35-0. And the Black Cats have got to be wondering what hit them here in this first half of play.
This is a situation for Prestonsburg. You have a little bit of pride, and you just go out there and you try to, you say, let's wipe off 35 points and what's happened so far. Let's try to beat them the rest of the game. Let's see what, maybe we can get back in the game, but they have to get their running game going.
Blackman with the kickoff, and it will come down to Sloan at the 12, runs to his right, gets across the 15 to the 20, out to the 30, to the 35, and caught from behind before he gets to the 40-yard line.
There you go. Sloan breaks it up the sideline to the 40-yard line. Maybe that'll get the offense going a little bit. You know, Prestonsburg, they've had a great season. They've only lost 1 game on the year, that to Whitley County, but they pretty much dominated their opponents. They beat Belfry twice, who always has a really good team. And last week, they beat Mason County. They were trailing 6-0 at halftime. They scored 18 points in the third quarter, and they won 18-13 to get to this title game.
1st and 10 at the 40 for the Black Cats. Joey Willis has Sloan, the deep back, behind him. And Sloan gets the toss. He's going to pass. He's got a man down here, but Johnson is covering and intercepts inside the 30-yard line. Johnson with the interception. The pass was intended for Austin Clark.
Sometimes you run a halfback pass because you think the secondary will bite on the pitch to the running back, but in this case, you're playing the man-to-man defense. The secondary is not looking at the running back. They're very disciplined, Bardstown, and they keep their eye on their receiver, and he follows him all the way down the field. And when the receiver looks back for the ball, so does Brian Johnson. And the ball was a little short, and Johnson went up and got it at its highest point for the interception.
Yeah, I noticed the way his positioning was such that he didn't wait for the ball to come to him. He was jumping up after it. All right, 1st and 10 from the 30. Here's the handoff to Cotton, sweeping to the right. Cotton turns the corner, gets to the 35, to the 40, and is taken out of bounds, close to a first down run for Cotton. Andrew Howell knocking his man out of bounds there. Cotton's gained about 50 yards in this half running the football.
Sure, and Bardstown's gone to the running game the last few drives, and with great success in the shotgun. They've been running the sweep, the inside handoff to either Crow or Cotton. Those guys can run up the middle. They can get to the outside, and Cotton has great power as well as speed. Got a first down.
So Bardstown huddling, and it's their ball at their own 40. Johnson comes wide to the near side. Wood goes wide to the far side. I formation behind Munnan. Tears the toss to Crow. Hands to Johnson. He's going to sweep to the right side and falls down at about the 33-yard line. Looked to be kind of slow developing there. And I don't think Johnson was going to gain too many yards had he not slipped.
Yeah, Bardstown's just trying some new things, pulling out a few of their plays. It is the last game of the season. You pull the reverse out. Nick Clay for Prestonsburg, he stayed at home on the left side there, and Munnan threw a block earlier, but Clay weighs about 205, and he's pretty stout. It's tough for Munnan to throw a block on that guy.
2nd and 17 now, back at the 33 for Bardstown. Munnan takes the snap and backpedals, looking to throw. Dumps it out to the left side to Crow, makes the catch back at the 25, breaks a tackle at the 30, fumbles the football, and it's recovered by Prestonsburg at the 34. Spriggs.
That was good coverage by Prestonsburg. They try to throw the screen to Crow, and he's very shifty. He made a couple of guys miss. But Prestonsburg will hit you, and they hit him and caused the fumble, and this is probably the best field position they've had all game long. It'd be nice for Prestonsburg to take advantage of it in the final 149, try to get something on the board.
Prestonsburg did not have a first down at the end of the first quarter, and I'm not sure if they've had one here in this period yet. I don't believe so. Here's the handoff to Fannin, slant off the right side, and gets down to about the 29, picks up 5. So Fannin now up to 6 yards rushing. And Prestonsburg with only 16 yards on the ground unofficially here in the first half.
A couple of quality runs by Fan, and Bardstown has run him to the right side off tackle. Prestonsburg goes from a very tight formation most of the time. It may be to their advantage to try to spread out Bardstown and try to run up the seams.
2nd and 5, and now Willis back to throw. He's being chased, and he's going to be hauled down, sacked. Is the Prestonsburg quarterback jumping in there to make the tackle for Bardstown was Lance Blanford.
Joey Willis, Prestonsburg quarterback, had a guy wide open for a touchdown, and that was Chris Spriggs, who ran a corner route to the right side, but it was Lance Blanford, the leading tackler for Bardstown, got to Willis. Blanford had 23 tackles in a game this year. That is absolutely amazing. I know he had to be sore after that game. That would take a toll on anybody, but he gets a big sack there.
He had 177 tackles on the season, and he's just all over the field. Timeout is called here at Cardinal Stadium. We'll step aside and be back in a moment with Bardstown leading Prestonsburg 35-0 in the Class 2A championship game. 3rd and 10, a minute 2 to go. We're in the second quarter, and Prestonsburg trying to get something on the board here late in the half. Willis back to throw, has time, fires to the right side, intercepted, stepping out of bounds after making the interception for Bardstown was Sean Hickman.
Bardstown normally in a cover 0 set with no safety man, that time in an obvious passing situation. Cover 2, man under. So they have 2 safeties who their only job is to follow the quarterback's eyes, and Hickman was one of those safeties. Followed the quarterback, followed the ball, makes the interception.
And it'll be Bardstown's ball. That's their 3rd interception of this half with 56 seconds to go. Munnin remains the quarterback with Cotton and Crow, the running backs. And they leave it off for Cotton, and he runs to his right and brought down at the 10-yard line.
Prestonsburg brought a linebacker on that play and got to the running back into the backfield. And that should probably be a little bit more of their strategy against some of these running plays, is to bring some of those backers and try to mess the play up and disrupt it before it even gets started.
Loss of about 3 on that play. And with 42 seconds left, I think one of the Black Cats was a bit shaken up. So we've got a substitution. Coming in is Andrew Burchett. And I think leaving the game was Nick Clay. All right, clock running now. 2nd down, back at the 11. Bardstown in their own territory. And the snap, and they give it off to Crow. He slants off the right side and picks up about 3 or 4 yards. And that may be the final play here of the first half. Nope, we're going to have a timeout called here, I believe, by Bardstown. Nope, Prestonsburg takes the time with 18 seconds remaining. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 12 from the 13-yard line. Bardstown leading Prestonsburg 35-0 in the Class 2A championship game. 3rd down and 10 from the 13-yard line for Prestonsburg. Johnson going in motion from left to right. Munnin hands it off to Cotton, across the 15 to the 20, 25, out to the 30-yard line, lost the football, picked up by Prestonsburg. They're trying to run with it, and brought down is Tony White with 9 seconds to play. So Bardstown getting a little sloppy here. They turn it over. There's a flag down as well over on the far side at the 30-yard line.
We have some emotions high out there right now. There's some scuffling going on after the plays and during the play. And Prestonsburg, though, comes up with a big turnover, may be able to put one up to the end zone, hope for a miraculous catch, some type of tip ball that they might be able to get for a touchdown. We'll see the penalty here.
It's a personal foul against Prestonsburg.
That's going to make it a little harder to get the ball to the end zone.
That idea may have just gone by the boards. The line of scrimmage now is going to be back into Prestonsburg territory. 15-yard penalty, so it's back to the Black Cats' 48-yard line.
Well, Prestonsburg still has to try it, so they're going to throw it up there, see what happens. hope that they get a tip in some fashion and a receiver can run under the ball and then get into the end zone with it.
They've got 4 wide receivers here to the near side. Willis takes the snap, dancing around, and is tackled back at the 39. Jumping right in there, Jacob Blackman making the tackle, and that is the end of the first half. It's been all Bardstown here at intermission. The Tigers with a 29-point second quarter, and they lead it at the half over Prestonsburg, 35-0. This is the Cotton going in motion from left to right. Munnin hands it off to Cotton, across the 15 to the 20, 25, out to the 30-yard line, lost the football, picked up by Prestonsburg. They're trying to run with it, and brought down is Tony White with 9 seconds to play. So Bardstown getting a little sloppy here. They turn it over. There's a flag down as well over on the far side at the 30-yard line.
We have some emotions high out there right now. There's some scuffling going on after the plays and during the play. And Prestonsburg, though, comes up with a big turnover, may be able to put one up to the end zone, hope for a miraculous catch, some type of tip ball that they might be able to get for a touchdown. We'll see the penalty here.
Personal foul against Prestonsburg.
That's going to make it a little harder to get the ball to the end zone.
That idea may have just gone by the boards. The line of scrimmage now is going to be back into Prestonsburg territory. 15-yard penalty, so it's back to the Black Cats' 48-yard line.
Well, Prestonsburg still has to try it, so they're going to throw it up there, see what happens. Hope that they get a tip in some fashion and a receiver can run under the ball and then get into the end zone with it.
They've got 4 wide receivers here to the near side. Willis takes the snap, dancing around, and is tackled back at the 39. Jumping right in there, Jacob Blackman making the tackle, and that is the end of the first half. It's been all Bardstown here at intermission. The Tigers with a 29-point second quarter, and they lead it at the half over Prestonsburg, 35-0. This is the Class 2A championship game. The halftime numbers, 35-0, Bardstown leading. They have outrushed Prestonsburg 108-3, outpassed them 100-2. Jamie Cotton, the leading rusher for Bardstown, 81 yards on 10 carries. Quarterback John Wesley Munnin, 9 of 12 for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maurice Crow, the top receiver, 4 catches for 59 yards. For Prestonsburg, Matt Sloan is the leading rusher, 14 yards on 4 carries. Quarterback Joey Willis is 1 for 5. He's been intercepted twice. And his only receiver has been Chris Spriggs, who has caught the 1 pass for 2 yards. And Greg, I don't know what you do if you're Coach John DeRosset of Prestonsburg. You're up against just a vastly superior opponent here, and you've got to try and play this second half for the pride of your school, and the accomplishments certainly that you've had in getting here certainly are not diminished, but they're up against just a better football team.
Yeah, if you're going to go down, you've got to go down swinging. And I'm sure that's what John DeRosset told his team at halftime. You always got to tell your team that they have to believe that there's a chance, and there always is a chance. But you know, it's been a rough first half, and Bardstown's been so good. They got so much talent, so many weapons. 4 different people scored touchdowns, and you know, Prestonsburg's playing for pride right here.
The kickoff went out of bounds, and it'll be Bardstown's ball. As you take a look at things here at Cardinal Stadium in Louisville, it'll be Bardstown's ball at the 35. No time having elapsed on the kickoff. So Bardstown will probably come out with Munnin again at the controls at quarterback, with Crow and Cotton, the running backs. Johnson and Wood are the receivers, and here's the quick toss, comes out to Johnson at the 35, gets to the 40, and across the 40 to the 41-yard line, where Nicholas Jamerson makes the tackle.
Bardstown hurt Prestonsburg with the running game in the second quarter, and that time Prestonsburg trying to stop that running game, put about 8 guys up near the line of scrimmage, and you know what happened? They throw the ball. On the play, you put the guys up in the box trying to stop the run, they pick up about 5 yards.
So play set to go here again, 2nd and 6, or 2nd rather and 4 from the 41 after the gain of 6. Here's Crow sweeping to the right side and brought down after a short gain of about 1 yard. Maybe got 2 to the 43. We'll see where they spot it. And that's what he'll get. Maurice Crow with 2 more yards rushing.
Crow had a nice first half, 35 yards rushing. He's really quick on the outside, but the outside linebacker, Kevin Jervis, it looks like, for Prestonsburg, made a nice tackle.
3rd down and 2 from the 43, 10:55 to go in the third quarter. Just underway, second half. Johnson comes wide to the near side. Wood is wide to the top side or right side. Up the middle goes Cotton, breaks a tackle to the 45. He's at midfield at the 45, the 40, 30. It's a foot race down the sideline. 10, 5, and he is in. Touchdown. He barely got in, but good enough. 57 yards.
Cotton, very explosive in his own right, very powerful. They give him the ball up the middle. He's able to bounce off a couple of defenders and get to the outside. Great hustle by Prestonsburg. That's Chris Jervis. He didn't give up on the play. Cotton got down. They gave him the touchdown. Actually, I thought, though, he may have been down at the 1-yard line, but the referee chasing the play had to make the best call he could. Wasn't lined up really properly, I think, on the goal line, but gave him the touchdown, 41-0.
He's not as fast as Cotton.
Nobody is out there.
10:37 to play. It's 41-0, and now Prestonsburg. Some movement along the line of scrimmage. The Black Cats, in their eagerness to try and block this conversion, may have been offside.
Nobody's as fast as him except the other members of his own team.
Right. Jamie Cotton with his 3rd touchdown run. That one a 57-yarder. Penalty declined by Bardstown, so Busick will try again on the point after. Snap, and they put it down. The kick is on the way, and he missed it, hooked it to the left. So with 10:37 to play in the third quarter, our score is Bardstown 41 and Prestonsburg 0. This is the Class 2A championship game. And back at Cardinal Stadium with former University of Louisville receiver and current U of L Radio Network broadcaster Greg Brohm. This is Doug Ormay here at Cardinal Stadium, where Bardstown has just scored again, leading 41-0 now. And Jamie Cotton, unofficially, he now is over 100 yards rushing in this game, and he has scored 3 touchdowns. So Prestonsburg will get possession for the first time, and here is the kickoff, and it'll come down to Sloan at the 5. 10 up the middle to the 15, breaks to the left side, gets to the 20, a block to the 30, a flag, he's to the 40, 50, cuts inside and goes down at the Bardstown 45, but there's a flag back at the 22-yard line.
This is going to be a tough break for Prestonsburg. Looks like it's most likely it's on the receiving team, the Black Cats, and it's going to bring back that nice return by Sloan. But Sloan has shown me something on 2 of his kickoff returns. I think the best strategy maybe for Prestonsburg right now is just hand Sloan the ball in the backfield. Let him try to get going. I know in the single-A game it took Steve Everson a while for Newport Catholic. They had to give him the ball a few times before he could get his motor running. Maybe the same thing for Matt Sloan.
So the officials go back and mark this one back against Prestonsburg. Again, it's at the 22, so they'll mark it back to probably the 12-yard line, a 10-yard penalty. Here's the signal. That'll be a holding foul against Prestonsburg, and now the Black Cats 1st and 10 from their own 12. Joey Willis, Michael Fannin, Matt Sloan in the backfield. Willis is the quarterback. He's in the shotgun. And here is the handoff to Fannin. He comes out across the 15, and not quite to the 15, to the 14-yard line. So there's a gain of 2 for Fannin.
Another tackle there by Lance Blandford, leading tackler for the Bardstown Tigers. He shoots in and gets Fannin. After they faked the handoff to the left side, they gave it back to Fannin to the right. You know, Bardstown, they have 41 points right now. They scored 40 points in every game this season except their last one where they won 21-0. So it's nothing unusual for Bardstown to get this many points.
Oh, they're used to being able to change the digits on the scoreboard. 2nd and 8 from the 14. Jervis in motion. And now Willis back to throw. He's being chased. He avoids one tackler. Now will try to run. Gets to the 15. Tries to cut in and is knocked down at about the 18-yard line. A gain of 4. Willis trying to make something happen here.
And, you know, Bardstown knows that Prestonsburg is going to have to go to the air, and they've been playing a cover 0 most of the game. Now they're in a cover 1 because they know that you have to pass, so they have a safety free who can just roam the field. And that time he saw where Willis was looking, and he went towards that receiver. So that receiver really had double coverage. Nothing there for Willis.
Prestonsburg does not have a first down yet in this game. Needs 4 yards to get one here. They need to make it to the 22. They're on the 18. Willis takes the snap, gives it off to Sloan. Sloan gets to the 20. There's the first down to the 25, to the 30. Spins across out of 35 to the 40. Midfield. And now we'll get down as he's tackled at the Bardstown 48-yard line.
Sloan is a hard runner. You get him in the open field, he runs over people, and I saw that on a couple of kickoff returns earlier. When he loves to make contact, he almost looks for the contact. Broke through a tackle there about 10 yards down the field and broke towards the right sideline, actually holding the ball in one hand like Walter Payton. Lucky he didn't fumble it, but he ran like Walter Payton on that play.
34-yard gain to the 48-yard line of Bardstown. So 1st and 10 for the Black Cats at the Tigers 48. And the handoff, Fannin will sweep to the near side, cuts in at the 45, gets to the 40, down to the 37 or 38-yard line. Another first down run, perhaps. Looks like they have it to the 37. That's a gain of 11.
The Black Cats are having some success off tackle now, and give a little credit to their offensive line, their tight end on that play of sealing down. And really, Fannin just had to cut inside one defender and shot forward for another first down. So that's 2 first downs for Prestonsburg. They're on a roll here.
On consecutive plays. So 1st and 10 at the Bardstown 37. The Prestonsburg fans say, come on, we want something to cheer for here. There's the snap back, and Willis is back to throw, and he's going to be sacked way back near the midfield stripe, pouring through there. That time was Nick Johnson of Bardstown, and there's a big loss of 12 yards.
Well, it looked like Bardstown had enough of Prestonsburg busting in there with those running plays. They went back to cover 0. That means you pull that safety in, you get him near the line of scrimmage, and you come after the Black Cats, and they did it there and got to Willis.
7.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. And it's 2nd down and 22. And Willis hands it off to Sloan, gets to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, back down to the 34-yard line. There's a 15-yard run for Sloan.
Now Sloan's getting going a little bit right there. He leaps over Maurice Crow, shows some of his athletic ability, gets up the field, and nice gain by Sloan as he, you probably just need to give him the ball as much as you can here. He looks like your best chance to get in the end zone.
He's gained 62 yards on 6 carries in this game. 3rd and 6 now for Prestonsburg at the 33. In motion goes Clark, and now they hand it off to Fannin. Fannin gets to the 30 and spins down to the 27, and that's close to a first down. The Prestonsburg running game beginning to assert itself here. Checking the Bardstown defense, it looks like they still have a large, there's been some substitution patterns made here by Coach Joey Downs, but not all of the regulars are out. The officials are going to call time here and try to maybe ask for a measurement. Here come the chains on with 6:25 to go. Fannin carrying the ball that time. And they stretch it out, and he's inches shy. So a 5-yard gain. So it'll be 4th down for Prestonsburg at the, call it the 28, or 27 rather, of Bardstown. Here come the Black Cats up to the line. Andrew Birch at the center leads them up. The officials waiting for the chains to get reset across the way. Bardstown aching for a stop here. Try to preserve that shutout. Now the clock starts again. Willis is in the shotgun, even though there are inches to go. He hands it off to Sloan, sweeping to the left side, and he's got it. Powers down to the 25-yard line first down run for Sloan. And he's up now to 64 yards unofficially on 7 carries. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25 of Bardstown.
That play's worked for Prestonsburg, but 4th and 1, going from the shotgun, handing it that deep in the backfield. You know, you got to worry when you do that, but Sloan's got some good gains on this drive, and again, gets the first down.
We're halfway through the 3rd quarter. Willis takes the snap, will now throw it deep toward the end zone, and a diving attempt by Chris Spriggs. The pass just a bit too long, and it's incomplete.
He's getting closer and closer on that play. I mean, Spriggs makes a diving attempt. I'm going to say that he might get one of those before this game is over with. You know, Bardstown has 5 shutouts this year, and you know these guys, they probably want to make that 6 and go out of here with a shutout. But Prestonsburg, you know, they really want to get on the board and get something going for their offense, and they don't want to go out of here with that first half, the last thing on their mind. They want to have a positive second half.
2nd and 10. Willis rolling to his left, looking downfield, throwing short, caught by Sloan, and he is tackled across the way by Blackman inside the 20 to about the 17, and that'll be about a yard shy of the first down.
Nice play by Willis. He fakes the handoff. He gets on the corner there to the left side and hits Sloan out of the backfield. Sloan's come up big here in the 3rd quarter for Prestonsburg. He just didn't get enough opportunities because there were a lot of 3 and outs in the first half. Prestonsburg just didn't have the ball very much to really get his juices going, allow him to get into the game.
3rd down and 1. The line of scrimmage is the 17. In motion goes Clark from right to left. And here's the handoff to Fannin, sweeping to the near side, has the corner turn, cuts in at the 15 to the 10, runs into his own man and gets inside the 5 and is brought down at the 2. Had he not run into Spriggs, he'd have scored.
I think he would have gotten in the end zone. He got a great block from Matt Sloan. Sloan is a hitter, and he went out there on the outside and he kicked out the corner, and then he ran upfield and blocked somebody else. He got 2 blocks on 1 play, but looks good for Prestonsburg. This is something they can you know, lift up the crowd a little bit, lift up their team. They really need to get in the end zone here.
Ball on the 2-yard line. And in motion once again comes Jervis. And the handoff goes to Sloan. He's trying to sweep the left side, blasts inside, and is piled up there. They knock him down at about the 2. So Sloan held to no gain on that carry.
Yeah, but he supplied some headaches, I think, to the Bardstown defenders because they had to be very solid to keep him out of the end zone. And that play's been their best play so far. That handoff out of shotgun to either Sloan or Fannin, and they go off tackle.
Sloan and Fannin remain the running backs. Joey Willis, the quarterback, 2nd down from the 2. And Willis will keep it this time. He's in there. Touchdown, Prestonsburg. Willis says, I'll score the touchdown. You guys do all the work getting it down here, and I'll be the one who
That doesn't seem fair.
I'm on the payoff end.
Well, I tell you what, Joey Willis is doing some work, though, himself because Sloan and Fannin helped carry him down the field, and Willis scrambled a little bit, made a good pass to Sloan out of the backfield, and right there they faked the handoff that they've been running so well to Sloan, and then Willis up the middle gets in for the score, 41-6 right now, and they'll go for 2.
Willis will come up under center this time. Takes the snap, goes back, hands it to Jervis. There's a flag. Jervis trying to sweep to the left side, and did he get in? He did. He made it, but let's check the flag.
It's going to be illegal motion on Prestonsburg. Matt Sloan started forward too soon while Jervis was in motion, and you can't have 2 guys in motion at the same time. And Jervis did a good job because half the team really kind of stopped after Sloan moved. He still outran the defense into the corner of the end zone, but they're going to move him back. And you know, Prestonsburg's going for 2 here, and you understand down 41-6 you would go for 2. But last week against Mason County, they went for 2 every time they scored. And it must be something I think they do quite often is go for 2.
So the line of scrimmage now is back at the 8. It'll be a little tougher here now. 41-6 with 4:04 left in the 3rd quarter. So now let's see what Prestonsburg pulls out of their bag of tricks. Willis will throw for it, lobs it up into the corner, and it is caught. 2-point conversion pass good to Austin Clark.
There you go, Joey Willis. Finally got that one.
4:04 to go in the third quarter. It's now Bardstown 41, Prestonsburg 8. This is the Class 2A championship game. Greg, might we see an onside kick of sorts here?
I think you might. I think you pretty much have to. 41-8, it's going to be tough to come back, but you got to give it every shot. You got to give it a try. And Bardstown, though, looks like they're not overly expecting it. They only have 5 linemen up there, and it doesn't look like they've got the hands unit in where you may bring 10 guys up, but here it comes.
And now they're shifting over. Both teams are. They're going to take a shot at it. There's the squib kick. It bounces up high, but Blackman makes a good catch at the 43-yard line. It'll be Bardstown's ball. He got the good hop, but it was right at Blackman.
That was a nice kick, nice onside kick, but it took the hop right to Blackman, and he's able to hold on to the ball, and he has good hands anyway. We've seen him catch some balls already in this game. You know, Bardstown is going for their 4th state title, and their first since the legendary Garnis Martin was their coach, who once was the winningest coach in Kentucky history. He started his coaching career as an assistant at Prestonsburg before becoming Bardstown's head coach.
Come full circle, haven't we? Munnin, the quarterback, gives it off, and that is Crow. Maurice slants out over left guard, gets out to about the 46-yard line for a gain of 4.
Both teams now are pretty much running the same play over and over again, and both teams are getting in the shotgun and handing to their running backs on off-tackle plays, either right or left. And Bardstown's had success with it the whole game, and Cotton scored a touchdown, a long touchdown on the last drive. And Prestonsburg with Sloan was able to be effective with that same play this past drive.
Bardstown, of course, wants this clock to run. And now it's not going to run now. 3:25 left as the flags fly. Prestonsburg moved first, but the defender did not go offside, and that made the Bardstown lineman flinch a little bit, so it'll be a 5-yard step off against the Tigers. Joey Downs, 12 years at Bardstown, 0-2 in title games. In single A, he lost to Beechwood back in 92 and 93. Bardstown winning single A championships in 67 and 70. Lost in the single A finals in 69, then won the double A title, as Greg mentioned earlier, in 1981, 20 years ago. Munnin gets the snap back and now rolls right, throws a short pass, caught by Blackman. Blackman 45, midfield, and is knocked down at the 48 of Prestonsburg. There's a gain of 11 on the quick flip to Blackman.
Well executed play. I really like that play as Munnin. He rolls to his right, and he sets up the screen, and the linemen are even fast on this team. They get downfield in front of Blackman to make blocks, and they're running all over the place, and Blackman gets another first down. He has had a big game today.
Munnin was 9 out of 12 in the first half for 100 yards. Blackman, I believe that's his 3rd reception of the day. So first down from the Prestonsburg 48. Blackman coming in motion, right to left. And Munnin turns, gives it off to Cotton, who powers up the middle off right guard, inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Cotton. He's well over 100 yards now. He has scored 3 touchdowns in the game. Cotton had 81 yards at the half. 2.5 to play in the third.
Chris Spriggs had a tackle on that play. He's made a lot of plays on the defense, even though Bardstown's had such success. Spriggs has hung in there and stopped the run on that play.
2 wide receivers to the top side. Now a man in motion coming to the left. And the handoff inside quickly. There goes Crow. He bursts across the 40 inside the 35. And down to about the 33. That's a 10-yard pickup for Crow.
Bardstown just keeping the clock running, still moving the chains down the field. Munnin has not had to use his arm and his great ability in the last couple of quarters. It's been basically the ground game and that offensive line who's gotten a lot of push on the Prestonsburg defensive front.
41-8. As Munnin, short drop, flips it out here to Lefevre, and he gets down inside the 30 to about the 27. Jared Lefevre gets to the 27-yard line, a gain of 6.
I like that play. That's just a nice, easy pass, and you let your talented receivers get the ball in the open field and let them work with it. Let them make a play one-on-one with the defensive back.
2nd and 4 from the 27. I formation, Munnin, quick flip out to the right side, trying to get it to Brian Wood, but it went through his hands, and an incompletion. Munnin had hit about 6 in a row prior to that incompletion.
Well, I think they have it set up for Munnin to fake that, pump that pass, that quick screen, and maybe the defensive back will come flying up and they'll hit somebody down the sidelines, because Prestonsburg now, when they see him turn to throw, they're flying up on the receiver, and I think that had something to do with that pass being incomplete.
Now, if you're looking at this game, you're saying, well, Munnin's thrown a lot of short passes today. Can he throw the deep ball? Just by looking at him, you'd have to say certainly he can. He's got the size and the way the poise and the ability to throw that short pass. You have to figure he can throw the long one. 3rd and 4. He's dropping back now. He steps up. There it is. Tongue is racing after it, and a little bit too long that time.
He's got too strong an arm.
Yeah, he's got the arm strength to do it.
Well, you can tell those aren't softballs he's throwing out to the side of those receivers. Those things are humming when they go out there. And tried to get Tong, their speedy, electric kick returner, one-on-one with the defensive back, and Munnin just threw it too far.
Yeah, he had the one-on-one coverage. Just threw it too far. 4th and 4 now from the 27 of Prestonsburg. 41-8, Bardstown leads it. We are late in the 3rd quarter, 1:11 to go. Johnson will go to the right side. Blackman and Wood here on the near side. Now Wood goes in motion left to right, and Munnin will roll right, gets good protection. Now he stops, throws back across the grain. It is caught here by Wood at the 26 and taken down right there.
That's a strong arm right there. Running to your right, he just jumps in the air and throws it all the way across the field. That was the play they scored the first touchdown on to Blackman, where he rolled right and threw across the field. The receiver goes from the right side of the field all the way across underneath, and that time he got a completion, but it wasn't enough for the first down, so Prestonsburg will take over.
Well shy. In fact, about 3 yards shy, and Prestonsburg takes over, as Greg said, from their own 26. They moved it the last time. Let's see if they can continue their offensive momentum here. Willis with Sloan next to him in the backfield. Willis back to throw. Has some time, throws it here long on the near side, intended for Jervis. Jump ball at the 40, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Good coverage by Johnson. And Chris Jervis had a shot at it. He's a little taller than Johnson, but Brian able to hang with the taller receiver and cause the incompletion.
The Bardstown secondary is very good at this man-to-man coverage. I know when you see a defense like this where you have a bunch of guys pressuring, a bunch of man-to-man defense, it looks like chaos to the offense. It looks like maybe the defense just is running wild, but that defense is disciplined. They all know what they're doing, and they stick with their man.
2nd and 10, and Willis rolling to his left. He looks, he throws. He's got a man, and this could be a big play. It is Fannin to the 40, 30, 20. Does he have enough speed? 10, 5, no. Caught from behind. Big play, though. About a 72-yard play.
Willis did a good job on that as Fannin swung to the left side of the field. He allowed Fannin to get beyond the line of scrimmage and run past the linebacker who was covering him, and then he just dumps it over the linebacker's head. And Fannin was in open field, and I tell you what, Maurice Crow, he ran from about where me and you are standing, Doug, and ran all the way across the field with his tremendous speed, and Fannin was chugging as hard as he could. And boy, you go 72 yards and you get tackled on the one, and I hope they give him the ball on this play to let him get it in.
If he can get enough energy. 73 yards officially is the gain. Willis will turn, give it off to Sloan, trying to sweep to the left side, and they spill him for a loss. Back at the 3, the officials say keep the clock going. He did not get out of bounds. There's a 2-yard loss on that play.
Well, I can tell you why Sloan couldn't get in on that play, because Fannin was huffing and puffing so much that he just couldn't get to the block that he needed to make on the outside. So Sloan had to kick it and try to get around the corner. So it's going to be 2nd down from the 2, and they may get to all take a rest here until the beginning of the 4th.
And he can kind of catch his breath on the walk down to the other end of the field, because that's where the game will now be played after 3 quarters. It is Bardstown 41 and Prestonsburg 8. This is the 3A championship game. Along with Greg Brohm, this is Doug Ormay, and Greg, Prestonsburg may have just been, well, they were completely overwhelmed, and they might have been a little nervous too in that first half. They've played a lot better here in the second half.
Well, actually, they won the third quarter, 8-6, and that's a big positive for Prestonsburg.
Willis will hand it off to Sloan, trying to go straight ahead, and Bardstown stacks him up. Now Prestonsburg's gone backwards here. Maybe Sloan got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Third down and 2. 73-yard pass play late in the third. Out of the backfield, Fannin making the catch and a long run. And now Prestonsburg doesn't want to have that play go for naught here. It's third down, the ball at the 2. And Willis has his team at the line. Fannin at fullback. Sloan goes in motion. Willis will keep it, go straight ahead. Easy touchdown. He walks in. Straight up the middle. Willis has scored both Prestonsburg touchdowns. This one coming with 11:20 to play in the ball game.
Didn't look like Bardstown was quite ready for Willis to even take that snap as he just walks into the end zone. They put Sloan in motion from tailback position to the outside, hoping to take his defender, a linebacker, out of the middle. Looks like it worked. They go in for another touchdown.
41-14. Scoreboard looks a little bit more respectable now. And they'll go for 2. Willis. And here's a whistle and a flag. The three-quarter numbers while we sort out this penalty. Prestonsburg with 81 yards rushing now. Remember, they had only 5 at halftime. Bardstown with 186 yards on the ground for the game. Prestonsburg with 84 yards in passing. They had only 2, remember, at the half. Bardstown with 124, so the total yardage now, as the penalty goes against Prestonsburg, a legal procedure. The total yardage, 310 to 165, still in the favor of Bardstown. Cotton has gained 143 yards for the Tigers. Sloan, the leading ground gainer for Prestonsburg, he has 65. Here's the two-point conversion as Willis rolls right. Looking downfield now, will try to run, now throws into the end zone, and he's got his man, Sloan, for the two-point pass. So, with 11:20 to go in the game, it's now Bardstown 41, Prestonsburg 16. This is the 2A championship game. Well, it's now 41-16. Prestonsburg creeping back just a tad here with 11:20 to go. Joey Willis is 3 for 9 for 84 yards. He's been intercepted twice. As we told you, Matt Sloan, the leading rusher, 9 carries, 65 yards for the Black Cats. John Wesley Munnin, 13 of 18 for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maurice Crow is his leading receiver. He's caught 4 passes for 59 yards. Randy Tung back to receive the kickoff, and there's the onside kick. It goes inside the 30. Brian Johnson goes back, kicks it. Ball is loose. Prestonsburg dives for it. And let's see. The officials say Bardstown got it. Wow.
You know, the thing with these fumbles we've seen in the 2 games today, the first guy to dive on it never gets it.
No.
And the Prestonsburg guy dove 100 miles an hour on the football, and it's almost for sure going to squirt out when you do that, and Bardstown's able to fall on it. But the last drive for Prestonsburg, nice third quarter. Sloan, their main man, with 51 yards rushing in the third quarter, and then Fannin with that long 73-yard pass and run. Prestonsburg's done a nice job since halftime getting themselves at least a little pride, a little bit of momentum going for them.
41-16. Here is Crow sweeping to the left side from the 25, and he doesn't get much. Maybe a yard to the 26. Bardstown, though, with a 25-point lead, just wants this clock to run.
Well, I tell you, though, John Munnin, though, after that play, kind of looked to the sideline, shrugging his shoulders, and he's itching to throw the ball. I know a team here has the game pretty much in hand, but you don't want the other team to score on you like this and to win the second half. And I think Bardstown, their players probably want to put it up and try to put some more points on the board.
Cotton and Crow, the running backs. Here comes Blackman in motion from left to right. The snap to Munnin. He will keep it, go straight ahead. He gets to the 30, dives out to the 32-yard line. He gains 6. $10:20 to go. This will bring up third down and about 3. Clock may run out on Prestonsburg here, but they have not quit playing for a second.
They haven't. They played extremely hard here in the second half and played hard in the first half. They just were the speed. When that speed hits you right off the bat, it takes a while to get used to it, and Bardstown overwhelmed them in the first half.
John DeRossett said we wanted to concentrate on alignment and assignment football here this week in practice, but it's tough to simulate that speed. Here is Crow sweeping, gets to the 35, to the 40, first down, and out to the 45 for Maurice Crow.
Bardstown's really impressive when they get all their linemen pulling, running in front of the play, and it looks like a caravan leading the running back. Maurice Crow has had a really nice game today, gets on the outside again, is able to get up for the first down. But the ability to run by a lineman is very important. And when you get, they're not only are big in size, but you get them out on the outside, it really opens it up for your running backs.
Munnin is the only man in the backfield, the quarterback. Now Tung comes in motion, takes the handoff from Munnin and sweeps to the left side. He gets to the midfield stripe, 45, 40, 35, tightrope down the sideline, and he couldn't stay inside the line. He steps out, and let's see now where. The line of scrimmage was the Bardstown 45, so he goes 10, 20, not quite 20 yards, about 17. Yeah. He stepped out at the 38-yard line.
Looks like he stepped out even before he started that dance down the sidelines, but you can see his speed, boy. When he gets going, nobody is going to catch him.
Bardstown over 200 yards rushing now in this game, and looking maybe to tack on some more points. The line of scrimmage is the Prestonsburg 38 with 9:23 remaining. Wood and Blackman come to the near side. Johnson is wide to the far side. And here is the handoff to Crow across the 30 to the 25, inside the 25 to the 24. Sloan tripped him up.
When Bardstown spreads the formation and Prestonsburg has to cover these guys, and they don't have enough people up front when that happens in the tackle box up close to the line of scrimmage to stop the run. So when you only have 5 guys up there, Bardstown has to run the ball, and there's going to be holes, and they've been hitting them most of the game today.
We near the 9-minute mark. 41-16. Prestonsburg again has won this half, 16-6. But here's the handoff to Cotton, straight ahead to the 20 and down to about the 17. Jamie Cotton picks up about 7.
Another nice run by Cotton. He takes a big hit again from Matt Sloan, who just not afraid to hit anybody. And Bardstown so effective with that running game today, right up the gut on that one.
One of the Black Cats a little bit shaken up down there. Hobbling around there is Hunt, one of the linebackers who's been busy today, making a lot of stops. Cotton is over the 150-yard mark. He's going to be approaching, perhaps the 200 mark, depending on how long he stays in this game. Joey Downs may get his regulars out following this drive, no matter how it ends, and let some of his other guys play, younger guys. Now, Bardstown has several seniors on this club that start. Barrett Mattingly and Jason Riley are underclassmen, juniors that start on the offensive line. Crow will be back next year, so will Cotton. So
that's a good base to build from.
Sure. If you got 2 linemen back and your 2 backs,
that's all you need, pretty much. I mean, this team has they're glutton of weapons.
Munnin will be tough to replace, perhaps, though. Here's Crow up the middle to the 15, goes tumbling head over heels. Sloan cutting him down at the 10-yard line. And a gain of 7 for Maurice Crow.
Another factor in the game today for these two teams is, none of these teams have played on turf before. And when you get on turf just seems to make a fast team even faster. And I think it's been a benefit for Bardstown to be able, the cuts are very sharp and precise. It takes a little bit of getting used to.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 10 for Bardstown. Blackman now lines up in the backfield. And now here's a whistle. And Prestonsburg jumping, but were they drawn off is the question. Illegal procedure? Nope, they were not. It's against Bardstown. Bardstown is going to have close to 400 yards in total offense in this game.
It's right around their average. They average about 417 yards of total offense on the season. So they've pretty much done this in most of their games, very similar performances.
They're below their average in passing today. Munnin throws for about 197 yards a game. 1st and 15 now from the 15, and there is a handoff, and that time it's Blackman carrying. He gets 5 yards back down to the 10. And here comes another flag in, and more flags. And here's where both teams need to kind of just say, hey, let's keep playing hard, but let's do it within the rules.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a penalty on Prestonsburg there as the defensive back hit a Bardstown player in the back after the play was over with. These guys are fighters, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And but the thing is, you got to keep it clean. You can keep that within the whistle, and there's no problem. But right there, you can't hit somebody in the back. That's what he did.
One of the things football teaches you is that, yeah, we'll play it out, but you got to have that not only physical aggressiveness but mental discipline. And it's something that's an acquired thing.
Yeah, it's hard to tell somebody to be so aggressive and then, you try to control it at a drop of a whistle, and it's tough to do sometimes. But especially when you're losing, you have a tendency to get frustrated.
1st and goal from the 5 now. 4 wide receivers to the near side. Here comes Crow in motion. He takes the handoff from Munnin, trying to turn the corner and get into the end zone, and he does. He won the race to the corner. That's a 5-yard touchdown run for Maurice Crow.
Well, by now, the defense for Prestonsburg probably should be expecting when the player goes in motion that he's going to get the handoff, but Bardstown does a good job of timing it up. They snap it right when the running back's getting to the quarterback. It's a quick handoff, and once he gets outside, a little bit outside the edge, you're not going to catch these guys.
So Maurice Crow scores his 2nd touchdown of the day on a 5-yard run. And Lincoln Busick will try the point after out of the hold of Brian Wood. And it's blocked. And in high school, that's all it is. It's a block, and there's no college. You can take off and try to score 2 points
on that one. If there's one weakness in Bardstown, and it's the only weakness I've seen, is a lot of these kicks, guys just run free at the kicker. And we've had a couple of roughing the kickers. And I think he even missed an extra point, but I don't blame him. When every time he kicks the ball, he sees 4 guys right in his face. He's got to protect himself.
47-16 is the count now in favor of Bardstown. 7:34 to go. Back with the Tigers kickoff in a moment. This is the 2A championship game. 47-16 in favor of Bardstown, and the Tigers will kick off. Joseph Blackman has a touchdown today. Maurice Crow has scored on a pass and also on a run. Jamie Cotton has run for 3 touchdowns. Randy Tong has a touchdown run for Bardstown. Joey Willis has scored twice for Prestonsburg on runs. And here is the squib kick. Bounces down. One of the short men grabbing it for Prestonsburg. And that is Tony White, the defensive end who's in on the kickoff team. And he returns it to the 37-yard line. And that's where Prestonsburg will take possession. 7:30 to go. Willis comes out as the quarterback along with Fannin and Sloan.
Fannin, he's only a junior. He'll be back next year, and that's a good piece of the puzzle for Prestonsburg if they want to make another run next year to get back to this state final and probably avenge a little bit this score.
Austin Clark in motion from right to left. Willis takes the snap, short drop, throws, and Sloan wasn't looking for it right away, and it's an incomplete pass.
He put some steam on that ball. That would have been tough to catch even if he was looking for it, but when Fannin caught the long pass, it was the same play, and on the long pass play, the 73-yarder down to the 1-yard line, Willis allowed his running back to get beyond the linebacker, and if he waits just a fraction, maybe a second or two more, the running back can get up the sidelines and you can get a big play.
7:26 to go. And again in motion, this is Jervis. Chris coming from right to left. Willis takes a low snap, looks downfield, lobs it out down to Fannin, makes the catch, but is going to be gang tackled as he crosses the 35 and gets out to the 38 or 39-yard line. Gain of about 2 on that play. He goes out of bounds, stopping the clock with 7:16. Bardstown trying to get over there to keep him in bounds, couldn't do it.
Fannon's a strong runner. He broke a tackle there and drug a couple of defenders to get to the yardage that he did get, and it's 3rd down and 8 right now for Prestonsburg.
From the 39, and Willis taking a look at the defense, takes the snap and play action, rolling to his left, looking downfield. He fires long and incomplete. The Prestonsburg receivers that time, Greg, you could speak to this being a former one, looked like they both got too close together there, and that naturally brings defenders over into that area.
Spacing is very important, Doug, in the passing game, and you don't want to bring too many defenders into an area. And Bardstown's playing a softer pass defense now. They're not playing that same up close, in your face type of defense, so it's going to be tougher to get the big play. And Willis got outside and scrambled around, tried to buy some time, but there was good coverage downfield.
So 4th down and 8 from the 39. Prestonsburg will go for it. In motion goes Sloan. And he fakes to Fannin. Willis now throws out to the left side, caught by Spriggs. Spriggs hurdles one man, gets to the 45, to 50, 45, 40, down the sideline, cuts in at the 30. He may go. He's to the 15, to the 10, carrying a tackler, down to the 6. He fumbles. It is picked up down there by Prestonsburg, and on the football was Chris Jervis. That was a strange play. Chris Spriggs making the nice catch and run from the 39 down to the about the 5, and that's where the fumble occurred. And there's a flag back here at the 39, so we've got all kinds of things to sort out here now. Bardstown is applauding. They evidently think the penalty is against Prestonsburg. Nevertheless, even if it comes back, that ought to go on somebody's highlight.
Sure, that's
Bill.
an entertaining play right there. You hate that play is going to get wiped out. Personal foul again. There's been too many personal fouls really for Prestonsburg. You know, those are 15-yard penalties and things that you can control. But I give Spriggs a lot of credit there. He has had a pretty good game on defense, catches the ball and shows his athletic ability, leaping a defender. And then also Jervis, I give him some credit too. You know, he didn't give up on the play. He kept running downfield trying to make a block, and when the fumble occurred, he was there to jump on it.
Personal foul penalty, though, against the Black Cats, wipes out the video game-like play by Prestonsburg. So this will be 4th and 23. Now, the original line of scrimmage was the 39, so they move it back to the 24. All right, 4th down and 23. They need to come out to the 47 to get a first down. And again, the Black Cats will go for it with 6:40 to go. Back to throw is Willis. He slings one out toward the right sideline, and it's caught. It's going to be a first down. What a catch by Austin Clark.
Wow, what a catch. Great play by Austin Clark. He had 2 defenders in his area. And Willis took a hit, too, after he released the ball. 4th and 30. You know the linemen are just pinning their ears back coming after you. And he throws it up there and gives his receiver a chance. And he comes up with the first down, and an unexpected first down when you have such long yardage on 4th.
I believe that's a 29-yard gain. And it's enough for the first down, and the line of scrimmage is the 46 of Bardstown. So, Prestonsburg trying to get some more points here with 6:10 to go. And here's the handoff to Sloan. He's trying to sweep to the left, cuts in at the 45, gets to the 43-yard line, and that's all. Making the tackle there for Bardstown was Whitcliffe Ryant. Or Ryant Whitcliffe, rather.
Black Cats have put together a nice second half on offense. I give them their due for that.
Willis again back to throw, takes a look, and again fires one out toward the right side, looking for Sloan, and it's batted away by Johnson.
They have another flag on the play.
Wow.
This flag was thrown right at the snap. I think it could possibly be an illegal formation on Prestonsburg. Maybe not enough guys at the line of scrimmage. It's a legal shift where not everybody was set at the time of the snap. But Sloan actually was split out wide on that play. He's been in the backfield almost the entire game. And he was uncovered briefly and tried to get up top to him, but Bardstown's able to run over there. The player who's out of position initially makes up the ground and makes the play.
After 3 quarters, Prestonsburg had been penalized 6 times for 47 yards. Bardstown 5 for 36. 5.5 to go. 2nd and 17 now from the 47 of Bardstown. In motion goes Sloan, and Willis back to throw, scrambling around, rolling out to his left. Now he's going to try and run. He's going to be dragged down from behind. Good tackle by Sean Hickman.
His receivers aren't giving him much of a chance, tell you the truth. Willis was getting tackled, and a couple of his receivers hadn't turned around yet, and they need to know when he is out of the pocket. They need to get their heads around, especially against an attacking defense like Bardstown. You've got to get open quick, and it just took too long. Jervis actually got open. There was contact downfield, and his man fell down, but his head wasn't turned, so Willis couldn't throw him the ball.
3rd and 14 from the midfield stripe, under 5 minutes to go. Joey Willis still at quarterback, still in the deep slot. Austin Clark in motion, and the handoff to Fannin off the right side, and he is hit in the backfield, taken down for a loss. Nice play defensively that time by Lance Blanford, and boy, he has played a whale of a game.
He has. He's done a great job of shooting the gaps in the offensive line for Prestonsburg, getting to the running back in the backfield. He's fast. He chases down the plays. I can see how he can make 23 tackles in a game. That's like 3 games for most players, but, he plays hard the entire time.
So it's 4th and 16 as we near the 4-minute mark. Well, Prestonsburg converted a long 4th down play a moment ago. Let's see if they can do it again. And Willis is back to throw, rolling to his left. He throws, and he's got a man. It's batted around and falls incomplete. And it'll be Bardstown's ball with 4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. Well, Joey Downs disappointed in the Class A championship game with close losses to Beechwood in the early 90s, 92 and 93. Will get his long-desired state championship. It'll come at the AA level here on November 30th of 2001. 47-16, Tigers leading it. And now they just want these last 4 minutes to disappear. Munnan is still in there along with Crow and Cotton. And there's the handoff to Cotton. He gets to the 45 and inside the 45 to about the 41-yard line. A gain of 7.
Joey Downs has said that he knew when this group of seniors were freshmen that it was going to be a special group. And 3 years ago, he installed this offense, he installed this defense in anticipation of this season. And 3 years of running this passing attack, wide open passing and running game and the attacking defense, and they are doing it just with such precision out here today. And, you give his coaching a lot of credit because a lot of teams put a 3-year plan together and don't get it done, and he got it done.
2nd and 2, handoff to Crow. First down as he darts down inside the 40 to about the 35. Bardstown chewing up the yardage now. They're going to have over 250 yards of rushing in this game.
Crow, he may be approaching the 100-yard mark. If he's not, he's probably around 70 and that 70, 80, and that's a nice second option to have in the running game.
He and Cotton are both leaving the game now. Tongue is in there as one of the running backs. They don't lose much there. The ball kind of rolls back to Munn, and he picks it up, and down he goes. A loss of a couple. Into the game is Wesley Shekels at the other running back spot. 2:45 left. 47-16. Bardstown jumped out to a 35-0 lead at the half. The two teams have been pretty even in this half. In fact, Prestonsburg has won it 16-12. But it was too little too late for Prestonsburg.
It was. They've done a solid job here in the second half, and they should be proud of that effort. But Bardstown, too much in the first half, too much to overcome.
2nd and 11. Munnan remains at quarterback, gives it off, and there's Shekels. And he maybe gets a yard to the 34. 2:05 left. What a career Munnin has had. Capping it off.
Yeah, we're having some scuffling down there, and another personal foul on Prestonsburg, and I think we may have an ejection. After Munnin handed the ball off, he was hit. Yeah, there is an ejection. He was hit by a defender from Prestonsburg, and then the Prestonsburg defender just threw a punch at a Bardstown player. But, you know, it's just some frustration in this game, and you don't want to see that, but after Prestonsburg had such a solid effort, you don't want them to lose their cool here in the second half.
Yeah, that kind of takes away a little bit from it. Tony White, I believe, was the player who left the game. And Bardstown now will get the benefit of the penalty down to the 19-yard line with 1:57 remaining. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Shekels remains in there. And he gets the toss from Munnin. Wesley stops, now starts again, and is gang tackled at the line of scrimmage. Clock running with 1:38.
Bardstown's had a tremendous season. They're going to finish the season 15-0, undefeated. They brought a lot of fans here, only about 30 miles from Louisville, Bardstown is, and brought a big crowd and a lot of support. Prestonsburg as well. Huge crowd here today.
About 3.5 hours.
At the AA final.
Yeah, they're about 3.5 hours away and brought a nice contingent. Munnin takes the handoff and rather gives it off inside, and one of the reserve running backs for Bardstown, that was Jonathan Hibbs carrying the football. Under a minute to go. We'll try to give you some statistics here in the wrap-up in just a moment. And Prestonsburg and Bardstown will wrap up this game.
Here comes the bucket of ice on Joey Downs.
Oh, man.
Oh, that feels good right now, doesn't it? He is, but you know what? He's not feeling it at all. The warmth of a championship, that feeling will keep him warm with that ice pouring down his back.
I don't know. I can't speak to that, but yeah, it's a great feeling for him, and Prestonsburg will look back on this day too as one where they learned a great deal and can be very proud of the program in the season that they've had this year. But too much Bardstown here today. 47-16 is the final score, and the celebration now begins as the 2A champions for 2001 are the Bardstown Tigers. They jumped out 6-0 at the end of the first quarter on Joseph Blackman's 8-yard pass reception for a touchdown from John Wesley Munnin. Maurice Crow made it 12-0 on a 29-yard pass from Munnin early in the second quarter. The 2-point conversion pass to Blackman was good, making it 14-0, and then Jamie Cotton got into the act. He scored 2 touchdowns on an 8-yard run and a 6-yard scamper, and then Randy Tung with a 2-yard run to close out the scoring in the second quarter for Bardstown. That made it 35-0 at the half. Bardstown made it 41-0 on Cotton's 57-yard touchdown run in the third. And then Prestonsburg got back into it a bit. Joey Willis, a 2-yard run late in the third. Willis, another 2-yard run in the fourth to make it 41-16. And then Maurice Crow closed out the scoring midway through the fourth quarter with a 5-yard run, his second touchdown of the game. So 2 touchdowns for Crow, 3 for Cotton, 1 for Tong, and 1 for Blackman for Bardstown. Willis scoring both of Prestonsburg's touchdowns. And Bardstown wins the Class 2A state championship. They complete a perfect season at 15-0. Prestonsburg closes out with a record of 13-2. And in a moment, the trophy presentation will take place down on the field here at Cardinal Stadium. And just a very impressive Bardstown football team, Greg. They did what they had to do early when the game mattered. They put the points on the board. Then they were able to successfully hold Prestonsburg at bay throughout the second half.
Too much ammunition for Bardstown today. They've got a lot of guns, and every one of them was loaded today. Everybody stepped up for them, especially in the first half. Prestonsburg put forth a valiant effort in the second half, but what an accomplishment to go undefeated. Preseason #1, you got the bullseye on your chest all year long. Everybody expects you to be here, but you get it done, and you get it done in a big way. And 47-16 today. They again score over 40 points every game except last week versus Glasgow, where they won 21-0. But they win their first state title in 20 years, their 4th overall. And Joey Downs gets to avenge a little bit, or get rid of the taste in his mouth from those 2 losses to Beechwood in the early 90s in the state title game. He comes out with his first state championship as a head coach.
A very gratifying time for him because, I think it's hard to get to a state final. Very difficult. And it's a situation where once you get there and you lose, you wonder if you'll ever get back. Then you get a second chance, and again, it doesn't work out for you. And then you wonder if you'll get a third chance. Well, Joey Downs has got his third chance, and he probably told his team, look, fellas, I'm not so sure how many more opportunities, I'll have, and they cashed in for him today.
He took a sigh of relief, and it's a